And Maslow said that there are certain people who come into this world who live from a self-actualized perspective. And there's certain things about them, there's certain qualities that they possess. There's a certain way that they go about their life. And that they're very seldom understood. I thought about that a lot the other night as I was watching Jobs. I think about it as I was sitting next to your CEO, Mark. And I think about it in terms of my own life. Because so many people are willing to come into your life and tell you what your dharma ought to be. That you should be doing this. That you should live that way. That when you place your thoughts on what other people want for you, or when you put your thoughts so much on what you don't want, or what's missing, or what you can't have. And self-actualized people don't think like that. I sat and read an essay called The Whole Man by Abraham Maslow. And Maslow was the first person that I'd ever seen in the field of psychology who spoke about we should not be assessing who human beings are and what they're capable of doing based upon what's missing or what's wrong or what they can't do or their weaknesses. We shouldn't study neurology, neurological disorders. We shouldn't study how psychotic people are or how neurotic they are. We should look at the greatest achievers who've ever walked among us, know that they all came from the same intelligence, and recognize and help people to find that within themselves. And as I read this essay, I was so taken by it, and he talked about the qualities or the characteristics of what he called self-actualizing people. And he said the number one quality and characteristic of these people who live at the apex of what he called self-actualization, who are way beyond just taking care of their biological needs, who are way beyond their social needs. These are people who came here with a purpose. These are people who have a dharma. These are people who won't let anyone else determine what it is they're going to be. He said the number one quality of these people is that they are independent of the good opinion of other people. They listen to an inner voice that only they can hear. They have a soul inside of them. Do you do what Van Gogh did? You just go out there and paint because it's in your soul? Because the second characteristic of self-actualizing people, according to Maslow, is that they are detached from outcome. They don't do what they do because of what result is going to come to them, how much prestige they're going to get, how big their business is going to grow. What motivates self-actualizing people is, this is my calling. I found myself reading the Bhagavad Gita for the third time in the last 3 months. I just keep reading it over and over, just like when I did the Tao 8 years ago when I turned 65 and couldn't stop it. And the teachers showed up. The Buddhist proverb is that when the student is ready, the teachers will appear. It's not whether there's teachers there's teachers everywhere. Everything is a teaching. The question isn't whether the teachers are there. The question is, how willing are you to pay attention? How willing are you to listen to that inner voice that no one else can hear? That little scurvy elephant in there that says, you're not the boss of me. You can't tell me what I'm here for. You have to, it takes a kind of fearlessness, because fear is such an omnipresent force in our lives.
Those were the top two criteria for highly functioning people. Independent of the good opinion of other people, which is exactly the opposite of what we learned in the ambition phase of our life, and detachment from outcome, which is the other opposite. You do it because there's something inside of you here that is telling you this is what you're here for, this is what you have to create, this is what your purpose is. You're going to make the world a better place. You're going to fulfill a destiny, a dharma that you signed up for, you know, before you even entered your mother's womb. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you begin to feel inside of yourself, so that you're moving into that stage. But you want to move into what Jung calls the afternoon of your life. You want to move into that armed with a whole collection of practices and beliefs and guidelines that work for you rather than work against you. so that you're not trying to feel fulfilled and meaningful and purposeful in your life by worrying about whether it's going to be liked, by whether other people like it. And that just goes back to, the ego says it's all about your reputation. So learn to get a good learn to get people to like whatever group they're talking to get them to agree with them, and then they say something different, and there's no meaning and power in them.